Warranties, they're on everything, from refrigerators to cars to coffee makers. But right now we're talking about RV warranties, because the reality is they are not created equal. So what did Crazy Keon do? I hooked up with my homeboy from down in Texas, Big Brother Reese. Brother Reese is going to tell you what you need to know about warranties, how they affect your RV, which ones to get, but most importantly, which ones you need to stay away from. Right here on Hanging with the Hazes. Let's kick it off. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. We got Reese with you, the guy I told you about that's going to tell you all about this warranty stuff. First off, Reese, thank you so much for joining us on the show, my man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Keon.
All right. So listen, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we legit, specifically you. So tell us about some of the work that you've done, because like I said, I don't want nobody on YouTube doubting what we talking about today.
Okay. Hey, so we're over in the Houston area, and we have a repair shop, and we do some mobile work, and we do everything from large projects to small projects, paint, body, woodwork, manufacturer warranties, and aftermarket warranty work as well. So A to Z on RVs, even some chassis work.
Okay, cool. All right, and where you at in Houston?
Katy, so it's the west side of Houston. Yes.
Okay, cool. So I want to make sure we drop his information right here where you can see it, because if you're down in that area and you need some help, this is the man to talk to. So I just want to kind of dive right into it. What is the number one issue when it comes to warranty work that you get called out for?
Well, in the Houston area, it's definitely air conditioners. You know, in the summertime, it's really hot down here. So it's the air conditioners is the number one.
Okay. And how does the warranty work with air conditioners typically when you're talking about like manufacturers like Thor Industries or REV or whoever they are now, and then them type folk?
Are you talking about like the new RVs or the used ones? Are you talking like when you just buy it?
Yeah, go into that if you don't mind. And then I want you to talk about these extended warranties that some of the older units are getting too. Kind of compare the two and how they work as far as you getting paid and the customer making sure that they get their stuff fixed.
Yeah, we'll start with the manufacturer warranty. With the manufacturer warranty, those are typically, it depends on the manufacturer, either 1 up to 3 years. Alliance, I've seen 3 years on some of those fifth wheels. And the drag on those with the mobile technicians are the fact that they take forever to pay you, and you got to jump through a lot of hoops. But you know, a lot of the mobile guys kind of just don't like dealing with them compared to like the aftermarket warranties. Those are a little bit easier. But if you want me to talk about
Yeah, talk about those aftermarkets, because a lot of people are buying them and they want to know what they're spending their money for.
Well, you know, they're not all the same, Keon. They are definitely different. I mean, you got Good Sam, Assurion, USA, all the different ones out there. And I'm not familiar with the pricing as far as like how much they are. I think they range from like $2,500 to like almost $6,000 or even more. But you can get like $100 deductible, or you can get up to $1,000 deductibles on them, you know? And I always recommend getting them, but they're not all the same. And sometimes, you know, they make you jump through hoops when it's time to file the claim. But I on the most part, I just think you have to read the fine print and make sure you get the right one.
Now, what's the worst one out there to deal with?
Oh man. Gosh, I would say Assurion. I believe they are one of the worst ones because, well, I wouldn't say that. I guess they're all just have their Good Sam. Some of them, they all have their quirks. But I think that if you're filing those smaller claims, they're kind of okay. But then when you get those larger ones, you know, sometimes they might push back. Like you say, you get multiple air conditions and they might have to send their investigator out to look at it. I've had that happen. I had on a River, one of those big fancy fifth wheels, 2 air conditioners went out at the same time, and the pool cord, you know, the fancy pool cord that they have, the electric cord went out, and it was like almost $5,000, and it was more than that probably, and it was man, they send investigators out, and they looked at it, and they want to make sure that you're having the right proper maintenance and stuff like that. So they have their quirks on them. So you know about where how you maintain an RV, as you would say.
So wait a minute. Asurion is those folks that insure cell phones. In case everybody don't know. Wait a minute. I would think that they, pretty much cover everything.
Yeah, I'm thinking Assurant is a cell phone, but I'm thinking Assurant. That's the one. I'm sorry, Assurant. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Okay. All right. No problem.
What I'm going to do is, while you're doing that, I'm going to look them up right here because on my phone I have them all this.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of people that's new to the RV world, they are not sure what to get. And what they do is they sit down, they talk to this salesperson, they give them this wonderful sales pitch, usually followed by, some type of 1,000 Trails membership or something like that. Yeah. And they buy it. They think it's the best thing since sliced bread. But unfortunately, those are the people that get burned the worst, which is why we're having this conversation. So y'all know, hey, there are some things you want to get. There are some things you want to stay away from. But go ahead and give us the info that you got right there that you just looked up.
Yeah, the few that I was talking about, it was Assurant. I'm sorry. Assurant, Good Sam. They kind of all tied together. They got Easy Care, American Guardian. Those are just a few off the top of my head. But you definitely have to read the fine print. Okay. Sure that they cover the same stuff. And they're not, when it's time to file the claim, they're not going to be like, giving you a hard time as far as like what to, like, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you have this type of maintenance done on a schedule? That type of thing. So, yeah, I know when you go to Camping World, they try to sell you on the upholstery insurance, all this stuff, insurance, they try to sell you and all kind of stuff. But I am a firm believer that the warranty is something that you should have. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what type of maintenance should you, the RV owner, be on top of? Like, is there a specific system that you really need to be on top of that maintenance in the event that something goes down so that the warranty company will cover it?
Well, aftermarket repairs, previous damage is always a big thing that they want to ask for. But I would say document everything because you just never know. They change from day to day. So I would say document everything. Like if you got your roof sealed, make sure you have that documented. Like, hey, send me or give me a receipt because you just never know how they will, process it. As I would say, you have a refrigerator leaking, cooling goes out. Say you had a leak behind it from the roof, right? And then they can say, hey, well, this was caused by this, So you just always want to make sure you document everything. Yeah.
Now, a lot of new people that purchase RVs, they have one huge misconception that I've come across, and that is that it's going to be problem-free. Can you talk a little bit about some of the things that you can expect in these new units that may sort of fall under the warranty that a lot of people might be having an issue with?
That they may not cover right away? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that they may cover, but so I did a show maybe a couple of months ago, and I talked about RVIA. Yeah. So this question is kind of sort of coming from that because we already know what RVIA does. They inspect one specific unit to make sure that it meets whatever the standard is. But a lot of people are buying units now, and they end up getting like warranty work done almost immediately after that first trip. Is there anything that you've noticed that has been a trend that's breaking that people have to bring it back for warranty repair for?
Well, I know I know generators are, those are. I just had a generator come in today. They came out with these new 4K 4000 Onan generators, but they're the inverter generators now on those units. You know how the older 4K Ys, they don't have the inverter in there, the newer ones. Right. Some of that stuff, it would have to go back to Cummins because a lot of your big shops don't really work on generators like that. So I know that the warranty stuff, they kind of push back on the generator stuff. So, and they will push if it's new, they're going to push you right over to the manufacturer anyway, like Coleman and Dometic. I think Coleman has a 1-year warranty. Right. If that goes out, they're pushing you back to the manufacturer anyway. That's the hard thing. And what I found with we talked earlier a little bit about it is the the manufacturer warranties are very hard to deal with as far as the mobile guys. They just don't like to deal with them because it just takes forever to get your money. So they don't.
Why do you think that is?
It's just a lot of paperwork. I mean, you deal with okay, so you deal with the process is like this. When you have an aftermarket warranty, so you do the diagnostic stuff, then you send it over to the warranty. They approve it. This is aftermarket, right?
Mm-hmm.
They approve it. Sometimes they want
Okay.
amp draws and on the air conditioned amp draws and all those supporting evidence, right? And then after that, then you do the work.
Mm-hmm.
The customer signs off on it. Then you get paid. They give you a credit card. But the manufacturer, I mean, it's just slow. They want you to sometimes send the part back up there. They want to the air conditioner. They want you to ship the air conditioner back. You know, you got to fill out a form, send the form out to them, and then wait for them to. Now, normally they will, in their offense, they will send you the part. You know, and then. But the labor is the problem. And then the really bad part is they never account for how much time it really takes to do something. So say, for instance, I had to take the refrigerator out. I had that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I had that happen a couple times with those new 12-volt refrigerators. They were, when they first was coming out, we had a lot of failures in those. And they don't account for like, oh, you got to take the island out and you got to do this and you got to do that. And they only want to stick to a certain billable hour, and it might take all this time, and they only want to pay you X. And then the customer is like, well, I don't want to pay anything, you know? So, and it's like you're trying to argue with that. And then they want you to get your money through the manufacturer, and then you have to wait, and they have to send you a check. They won't send you a credit card. It's just, you know, it's always a hassle. So a lot of mobile guys just don't like to deal with the manufacturer stuff.
Well, I'm going to be truthful with you. A lot of the shops now don't want to deal with manufacturer warranties. And I'll tell you a little quick story. You know, my dad had a 13 Allegro bus, and the cabinets literally came off the wall.
Okay.
Like they were separating from the wall and just hanging out in the middle of the coach. So after fixing this 2 or 3 times, the dealer finally said, listen, I can't do anything else with this. You got to go to Red Bay, Alabama. And so Dad's like, well, why? And the final verdict was, they're only paying me for this here. But in order to fix this, I have to go through this process. So what you're saying is 100% correct. I've witnessed it for myself. And they didn't want to cover what it was going to take to actually do it right or get to, like, a whole bunch of things had to come out of the way. Like you said, an island or something like that. They didn't want to cover it. And it got to the point where the dealer was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. You have to go back to them. And when it happened the very last time, we were on our way to Charlotte, North Carolina, and we had to do a detour to Red Bay, Alabama. And, I just could not believe how many units were there for this very similar reason. And these are repeat owners, mind you. And I'm like, do you like this guy enough to give him that money? And do you like hanging out in Red Bay, Alabama to do this multiple times? You know, so I get the frustration from the consumer side, but brother, I get your frustration too. I don't know. I don't know if that's something that I personally could deal with from a business perspective. Hats off to you, my friend.
Yeah. And another thing too, now you do have to watch this. I wanted to tell you that when you buy a brand new RV, and you do have to watch the fine print, because some repairs, they force you to go back to that dealership if you're within so many miles of the dealer. Like say 50 miles of that dealer, they will make
failure.
Yeah, and you're within that late at night.
I just want to make sure I heard you correct. Did you say go back to the dealer where you got it if you're within 50 miles of it?
Yeah, something just depends on how it's worded, within so many miles. Yeah. I had a customer that had a Montana fifth wheel, and it was like a Swintex slide out, and I filed the claim, and they got back. It was the third party claim. And then they got back to me and said, hey, this has to go back to the dealer. And the lady was like, oh man, I don't, she already had it here, but the Holiday World, or the dealership that she bought it from, was not that far from here. So that means she had to take it all the way back out there. So that's another way they get you as well. And then they were going to have it a long time anyway, and I could have got it out a little bit quicker. So you got to watch that too.
Y'all see the look on my face. Like So it's going to cost more money, not only for the consumer,
Mm-hmm.
but for them to get this over to the dealer just because of a mileage issue.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Wow.
And then another thing too,
Wow.
they'll force you to be within a certain. Yeah, I think the biggest restriction with the warranties is like what we said earlier, is that they force you. They never account for the real times on anything. Say you have to. Is like a Swintex slide is a perfect example. All the trim that has to come out, all that stuff. They don't account for all that.
Right.
So then now you're stuck dealing with them on that. So it's good.
So who eats that?
The either you try to get it from the actual the owner, or you just kind of just eat it yourself as the manufacturer, as the repair guy.
What's the weirdest repair that you've had to do for a warranty that you didn't think was going to get approved?
Oh, the weirdest repair. Well, I think it might have been a black tank. I think it was a black tank getting stopped up because of the owner. I didn't think that would get approved, but they actually approved that. Yeah, or
I was getting ready to say owner error there.
Yeah, owner error. Yeah, or in another one, I'll follow up with that is the toilet stuff. Those plastic pieces they have on the toilets that break all the time. A lot of time they deny a lot of that. Yeah, because I don't like to fix toilets like that. So
really,
what I do,
wow,
I just try to replace the toilet because of the parts are plastic. So by the time you be trying to fit them back on there, it's just so hard. So it's easy to just replace the actual commode or whatever. So, but I think that was the weirdest one. The stop the toilet. Yeah. Yeah, they normally don't do that.
Yeah. So if right. So if you had to talk to John Q RV owner, what is the one tool every RV owner should keep?
Well, even though I'm talking kind of bad about them, I definitely think you should have a warranty. As I look at the expense of owning an RV, geez, man, I'm telling you, air conditioners are like $2,000. Refrigerators, God, I definitely,
okay.
With the motorhomes, I definitely haven't delved into the chassis part of it because I don't know too many of the chassis warranty folks. That's something that we probably have to talk about a little bit later. I haven't seen too many of the chassis warranty stuff. This stuff. Yeah, but I definitely think it's a good investment. Yeah, it's better not have it.
Okay.
But let me tell you one thing. Really,
now
I had a guy. Now this is one thing you just got to be careful. I had a guy call me the other day. He has RV over at Cummins, right? Diesel pusher, right? He had a small pinhole. He had a small pinhole in the piston, or in the cylinder block or whatever, right? Engine had an engine failure, and the warranty is fighting him $26,000 to replace the engine, and they're saying his records wasn't together as far as the oil changes and stuff like that. So it's just, man, it's brutal out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, man, I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping that people listening to this understand the dynamic of what you're purchasing and what you're dealing with. We've talked a little bit about the warranty companies, what to expect, what not to expect. Is there anything specific that you think people should ask at the table when they're buying that they need to know? What is that one specific thing they need to ask and make sure that they ask so they don't get burned on the back end?
They really do need to really know what's included in the warranty, and you really have to go into it. They're not all the same, so you really have to, and they're expensive, so you really got to know exactly what's in there. I think you really have to do your homework before you sign on that, because that could be the difference between. I've seen some people buy them, and they spend money and they don't have this A, B, and C in there, and then it's like they're out of money. So
right.
So you definitely have to really understand what's in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to plumbing and electrical.
Yeah.
I'm just going to add that tidbit
Yeah.
because those two, I mean, you know, AC units, they're expensive, but plumbing and electrical can either burn your coach down or flood you out. You need to know what's covered there.
Yeah. 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 You definitely do. Yeah. And then the pre-existing,
man.
stuff
right.
too. What kind of maintenance that's required? Sometimes they require you to take that thing back to the dealer every year. We have one down here called Forever Warranty. One of the companies, the large dealerships,
Right.
sell that down here. And if you miss your yearly checkup, then it kind of voids it, you know. So you got to have a yearly checkup to keep that warranty up. So it's kind of a moneymaker for the dealership because they charge you $200 every time you go in every year to check it. But that's what keeps the warranty.
Oh boy, man, there's a crook everywhere.
Yeah,
there's a crook on every corner. Listen, Reese. Before we let you go, I just want to ask, like I said, is there anything else you want to share with these folks that might be a valuable tool that we haven't covered so far?
No, I think we got everything. I mean, the warranties are very. I think it's a necessary evil. I wouldn't probably if I wasn't that mechanically inclined, I would definitely get a warranty because you got to have it.
I got you.
So definitely, yep.
If y'all are not like me and y'all carry every tool you can, get a warranty. That's what he's trying to tell you.
Because I'm telling you, sometimes I've seen some.
Oh boy,
I've seen some cases where they paid quite a bit of money on some of those things, you know. But we'll follow it up with the insurance insurance one.
Oh yeah. We gotta talk about that insurance thing, y'all, because like insurance companies out there, they ain't all the same. So there you have it. We got 15 minutes with Reese, the mobile tech out of Houston. Y'all show him some love.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me, Keon.
Hey, y'all heard it right here. Hey, if you don't have a warranty and you got a new unit, you might want to get one. He talked about the ones that are out there, the manufacturer warranties. You got to watch out for them because those are the ones that's going to screw you the quickest. Those aftermarket ones, there's some good, there's some bad, but Reese told you the deal. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check in the comments, check in the description. I'm going to give you some of the websites to some of these warranty companies to make sure that you are getting the best bang for your buck. And if anybody asks where you got the information from, let them know. You got it from one place, Crazy Keon, and you have been hanging with the hazers.